Hi everyone, Don Giannatti here, lightingessentials.com and project52prosystem.com. I'm talking today about my still life class, and I'm very proud of the still life class. It's one of the perennial favorites. I think I've run it about 4 times, and it never ceases to astound me, the level of creativity these young folks and old folks alike bring to the table. So I am going to show you a bunch of pictures today. We're not going to discuss them. We're not going to take them apart. I am going to say that if there's an image you'd like to know about, put it in the description below, and I'll see if I can answer any kind of lighting question or composition question you may have. But I just want to run through some of these photographs. These are chosen at random from the class, pretty much at random. Okay, so when you see the work, you'll know what I mean when I say I'm amazed. Pretty much at random from the 4 different sections of class that I ran. I just went in and grabbed a handful from each section, and this is what we ended up with. Now, the class is in 8 modules. We look at texture, we look at color, we look at kicker lights, we look at soft light versus hard light versus light for dramatic effect or light for very soft romantic effect. It's all, you know, there's just so many different ways to approach photography and the work that we do and the fantastic different ways that we can do it. And still life is just one of my favorite things. You can do it anytime. If it's snowing outside, do still life. If it's 115 degrees outside, do still life. If it's night and you can't sleep, shoot still life. It's awesome. And I can't tell you how excited I am. Anyway, let's flip through this and we'll talk a little bit about the class, what we do in the class, and we're going to try to cover this pretty quickly. And again, if you have a question about any specific image, let me know what that image is down in the description, and I'll get right back to you. Okay, let's share the screen here. We're going to jump over to the shots. These are some dried figs by Catherine Vibert, and dried something here. And a lovely composition, beautiful light. This is all very soft light. We tackled design elements and vertical, horizontal composition things, and Steve Collins came up with this. Steve is a shooter in Fredericksburg, started with me with Project 52 a number of years ago, and went from a part-time shooter on the weekends to a full-time photographer now in Fredericksburg, shooting catalog, people, just everything. He's just really, really busy guy. Lovely. Another shot by Stephen Collins. You can see why he's so busy. Very clever. Part of the assignment, one of the assignments that we give is to shoot garbage. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. We're going to shoot garbage because I feel that still life has to transcend the subject itself sometimes. So one of our assignments is to go out and get a bunch of stuff, you know, side of the road, over by the garbage heap, whatever, you know, just a bunch of things, rocks, sticks, stones, dead flowers, what have you. Bring it back and do a lovely still life of it. I once saw a beautiful still life, absolutely stunning still life of a bag of rotten apple cores. Yes, I did. Phil, this is part of the assignment, using hard light to create shadows and making the shadow a big part of the image. Phil Kirchmeier shot. Paul Brousseau, very simple little story here. Everything nicely done, nicely lit glass, very editorial in style. I like the shot a lot. Michelle Cushman, you think it's easy to get those grapefruits to shine like that? You're wrong. There's a lot going on here, and Michelle has created a very, very lovely image with a very nice little twist of a slight shadow. That's always fun. Another Michelle Cushman showing us the shadow. of the vase and doing a great job. Michelle photographed what are these things? These are some fruit thing that everybody, pomegranate is what it is, and did a beautiful job. We end up with some names coming up a lot, folks, because as I said, they were fairly random. I just dot grabbed them, and they ended up being, you know, Michelle's got several in here. She's a brilliant photographer. Really super soft lighting for this one, just a lovely photograph. Liz Carmel, this was one of the color assignments where color dominates, you know, a single color dominates. Great shot, great light. Another great shot by Liz. Lily Dale's shot of pottery, perfect for catalog or for documenting things, and yet it has a nice little artistic flair to it as well. Look at the beautiful way she used the light, just lovely work. Lavagna's great little tabletop still life. It's modern, and yet it has that kind of old world feeling, Renaissance type feeling to it. Really nicely done by Lavagna Reddy. And another one by Lavagna. I've shown this one before. Very, very beautiful image. Another from the same shoot. Kurt Moore, great use of painting with light. So he's done it all up and then painted with a little bit of light and done a great job. I have to go through these a little bit faster to get through these. Kurt Moore, another one where color dominates. Nice still life. Another Kurt Moore painting with light. Painting with light here as well. Catherine Gooding's chocolate and raspberry shots, color dominate. Karen Green, this is just a great shot by Karen Green. It has so much magic in it. It's a little quirky, it's a little offbeat. It's almost a mystical type image. John McAllister, photographer over in the UK, doing some food shots here. John is a super talented photographer and working in Project 52 as well. Another one of McAllister's images, transcending the product itself and turning it into a little bit of piece of art here. Ivan Singer's weird and strange fruit shot on top of the can was one of my favorites. A beautiful little lighting tricks going on here. We talk about lighting a lot in the class. You know, one of the things that we discuss are using big soft lights and scrims, but also flags and gobos and all that types of things. Popping a little bit of a fill light here and there. It's a great shot by Heather Gill of an octopus. We really get into some advanced stuff, and I don't care how cool another Heather Gill and how experienced you are, you're going to find that probably you're not doing enough in camera, that you can do so much more in camera is just amazing. You can really, really do a lot in camera. Fill, ambient fill, kicker lights, mirrors, small tiny cards that do one tiny thing. And we get into all of that. I don't care where you are in your still life journey. We've got people who have never shot it before, like Gabrielle here, and Frank, never shot still life before, and then they come on to the class and they're doing stuff like this. Dwayne Middlebrook, a people shooter from the Philippines. Beautiful glass work by Doris Rudd. Another nice little shot. This was a shot with using created ambient light, large softbox, and then small softbox for source lighting. Really nicely done. Shadow. The garbage assignment. Find something and photograph it. Make it beautiful. Shadows. Catherine's beautiful still lifes using tiles to give it a sort of a modern art look. Karen Harris, another shot of real real beautiful light, and quite a story going on there with the torn photograph of the baby and the baby's shoes. And you know, Bob Wheaton's golf balls, one of my favorite. He really did an outstanding job with 3 golf balls. Some old cameras by Bob, some old golf clubs, beautifully done by Bob. This is kind of work that sells, folks. It's kind of work that gets you in the door. Art directors, it gets you in the door, making images for money. I know a lot of people want to shoot people, and I get that. I love shooting people. I made a career out of it. But right now, the competition is far less in the still life market, and there's still a ton of work. You're going to hear people your whole career in photography, and hear people go, oh, it's too crowded. Oh, there's no work out there. You know what? Those are the people who've been crowded out and don't have any work. Crowded out by people who do have work and are working. Barbara, beautiful shot by Barbara here. Ann Stevenson is a photographer. At the time she was in Salt Lake City. She's in Denver now. So if you're art director looking for a photographer in Denver, Ann Stevenson is new there, and she's quite good. Look at these wonderful still lifes with nice little shadows, dimension, lots of wonderful work there in Ann's portfolio. And again, I want to say, it doesn't matter if you're, this is the last shot by Adam Bendig. It doesn't matter if you are new to photography. It doesn't matter if you just got your camera, if you've got a window and you've got some white cards you can pick up at, you know, the dollar store. You can start making still life. If you got a speed light and you've got a little bit of skills, you make a scrim, you can do some still life. And it's a fantastic, wonderful, beautiful, creative place to start. Good still life photographers make good people photographers, okay? So you'll learn a lot, we'll have a lot of fun, and you'll have some great stuff for your portfolio. Anyway, there's like 55 shots we looked at there. I know there's a lot of pictures. If you got any questions, down in the description, there's a link down there that'll take you to the page where you can find out about it. It's not an expensive class. It's 8 weeks. It's live reviews with me, talking about your images with the other photographers. You get a lot of input, and you get access to the Facebook page for the still life group, and you have access forever. So you can stay on that Facebook group. It's a really, really good group. We don't have any trolls. We don't have any know-it-alls. We have a lot of people who will give you advice if you ask for it, support if you need it. So the Lighting Essentials group of photographers is the best forum I've ever been on, ever on the internet. Not just because it's mine, because I don't even think of it as mine. I think of it as theirs. It's just incredible. So you have access to that. I'm not going to take up any more of your time. Still life rocks. You got to get into it. You got to come and see at least what we're offering. And I'll talk to you next time.